friends, this is Rishikesh. Today we will discuss some prerequisites for the course of programming and problem solving. Prerequisites mentioned in the syllabus is understanding of basic computer principles. So we will understand basic computer principles by simply answering four questions. Uh, First one is what is computer? We will understand what is computer. Then we will try to understand basic working principle of computer, and then we will discuss history of evolution of computer hardware and software. This will help us to understand how computer hardwares are evolved, and also how programming languages are also evolved during this course of computer. And at the end we will discuss what is programming. This is the most important thing. We will discuss how programming works behind the scenes and what actually the programming is. Coming back to the first question, we will try to answer what is computer basically. In general, we all know what is computer. We all have seen computers in our homes, schools, or colleges. In fact, today we can't live without a computer. Today it is a part of our life. But now, keeping a general sense aside, we will now try to define what is computer actually. So basically it is a electronic device. Second thing is it takes instructions as well as data, and the third thing is it performs computations based on instructions on the data that we have provided to it. So in simple words, a computer is basically a machine that takes instructions and performs computations based on those instructions. Okay, so basically the work of the computer is to compute, just to compute, and hence it is known as computer. In this course, our main focus is on that word instructions. That instructions that we will give to computer to perform some actions. So in this due we will see how those instructions are given to computers and how they perform operations based on those instructions. Now let's see what is the basic working principle of computer. I'll discuss 3 points here to understand the basic working principle. The first point is the computer knows a single thing, that is binary. It only knows binary, nothing more and nothing less. And based on this binary, it performs computations. And when we program to computer, when we give some instructions to computer, then the all instructions are performed at CPU level are based on 1 or 0. That is the condition of circuit. You know, the electrical or electronic circuit, it is just on or off. There are at most two possible conditions, 1 or 0. So inside the CPU, whether that CPU has a basic unit as vacuum tube or transistor or ICs or ultra large scale integrations, anything, the basic thing happen inside that architecture is just on and off of the circuit. And based on these two things, all the data is processed, all the data is stored, and all the instructions are followed. Whatever the things we see on the screen of our computer, whether it is a text, an image, or anything else, a video file, audio file, everything is stored in a binary format. So all the data is also in a binary format, that is in the format of ones and zeros, because the only thing computer understand is 1 and 0. Now let's have a look at the history of evolution of computer hardware and also computer software. So history of computer can be understood by looking into 5 generations. With each new generation of computers, there had been advancement in computer technology. Obvious. The circuitry inside the CPU became smaller and smaller with enhanced speed and less consumption of power and efficient memory. Therefore, each generation of computers is characterized by major technological development that has drastically changed the way in which computer operate. First generation of computers is considered between 1942 and 1955. In hardware technology, in first generation computers that were manufactured using thousands of vacuum tubes. A vacuum tube, it is a device which has a fragile glass. And talking about the software part of that computers, the programming was done in machine languages or assembly languages. The computers were used for scientific applications, and some examples of those computers are ENIAC, ADVAC, EDSAC. The important thing to note that is they were the fastest calculating devices of those times, and the computers were too bulky and required a complete room for storage. So you can imagine the complete space in your room was occupied by a single computer. So those computers were having so much of installation cost. Even though the fun thing is that those computers were the fastest machines calculating device at those time. The second generation of computers is considered from 1955 to 1964. The main thing is that the major evolution in computer hardware technology as well as software technology happened in second generation computers. In second generation computers, we use transistors to manufacture CPUs. Transistors were reliable, powerful, cheaper, smaller, and also cooler than the vacuum tubes. So that was the major part in hardware side. In software technology also, programming was now done in high level programming languages. So this is the major evolution considering the history of evolution of computers. In third generation hardware computers, we moved to ICs from transistors, and in software we also improved our high level programming languages. And in fourth generation hardware, we introduced our ICs with ultra large scale integrations, and our software languages were also improved. Considering the fifth generation, it started in 1989 and till now it is going on. In early days of fifth generation evolution, we were having PCs like Pentium PCs and IBM notebooks. Nowadays we are having even faster machines than IBM notebooks and Pentium PCs. So throughout this evolution you can see that the minute component inside our CPU was vacuum tubes for the first time, and nowadays we are dealing with ICs having ultra large scale integrations, and this is just happened in the span of just 50 to 60 years. Now moving ahead, let's understand what is programming. Programming is basically a process of creating a set of instructions. So we create a set of instructions that tell the computer how to perform tasks. So if we have a data and we have to perform some task on that data, then we will have to give some instructions to the computer so that it can perform the actions on that data. So that process of instructing the computer is known as programming. And for that purpose, for creating that set of instructions, we use some high level programming languages. Those are like Python, Java, C++, C Sharp, and much more programming languages are available. But these are some famous, or we can say that mostly used programming languages. So this is what programming is. So the all things that we have discussed today, that is what is computer, basic principles of working of computer, history of evolution of computer hardware and software, and the programming related concepts. So these are some prerequisites for the course. So thanks for watching. Stay connected till the end of the course, and I'll see you in the next one.